Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tammy. I'm the owner of Walnut Creek Bath Boutique. Today, or this weekend, I have been just making wax melts like there is no tomorrow. It's funny because I wasn't going to make any wax melts for several more months, but I just decided I needed to make wax melts, and that is what I have been doing. But I'm taking a break from making my wax melts to get some samples made up, or I should say testers. I have two, three, four, five, 6 different scents that I want to test in my wax melts. And I do almost 13% fragrance load in my wax melt. So I'll do like a 20 ounces of wax to 3 ounces of fragrance oil, or I'll do 30 and 4.5, and that's kind of where I've been keeping it. And I use the Flaming Candle Pro Blend 650. It's a paraffin soy blend. I really like it. I get really good strong scents with it. The fragrance load is 8 to 10%, but I bump it to almost 13. So right now I'm just heating up though 7 ounces of the wax because I'll grab these. These are the ones, oops, oh no, I just destroyed a wax melt. I dropped my wax. Yeah, I dropped this in a wax tart. Gosh darn it. I am so horrible. I am just like the bull in the china shop. That's pretty much me. So I guess that one's mine. Darn. All right, let's see which one this is. I have these 1 ounce samples, right? Or testers. I can't even read it. Where's my glasses? Oh, sandalwood and rose. I thought that was a really lovely scent. I'm going to test coconut lime verbena from Candle Science. I'm going to test mahogany and teakwood. It's a Bath and Body Work type, I guess. I'm going to test that one. And then gin and tonic from Be Scented. I have 2 scents here from the Flaming Candle that I am in love with, that I bought 4 ounces because that's my, I made a deal with myself. If I was going to buy any fragrance oils this year, it was going to be, 2 to 4 ounces, maybe 1 ounce, just to see if I even like them. I was buying 8 ounce, 16 ounce bottles with, I had no idea if I liked it or not. So I made that deal with myself, but I love these both so much that I want more. I mean, I think I can make a small thing of soap with it, like my 9-bar batch of soap, a 1 ounce batch or a small tester batch of the wax melts, and I may still have just a little bit more for just like maybe some creams to see how customers and patients, I work in a hospital, see how I said it again, see how customers like the scent in creams. But it's Beechwood and then Rain and Angelica, and I am in love with these things. I'm like hoarding them. I haven't used them, and I'm just hoarding them. So yeah, I think I may just still use 1 ounce of those and test them in a wax melt. So just thought I would bring you along for the ride on that. I gotta clean this mess up. Let me see where my wax is. It's 175. I'm going to put it back on the hot plate to let it heat back up. It got a little bit too hot for my fragrance oil, and I'm really particular with my heat because the manufacturer says heat to 180 to 185. Add your colors and fragrances at 185, 180, 185. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm heating it to that temperature, adding my fragrance oil, and then pouring. And one of the things, I have a video about the Presto pot and why I don't use the Presto pot anymore. I don't know that I will ever go back to it. But what happens is you have, get my bigger picture, you have your wax in that pot that's hot, right? And you heat it to 180, 185, and you pour off into this cold aluminum tin we'll call it tin, aluminum, I'm getting better. I've been practicing. Yeah, I have been. You pour it in this tin cold pot, it drops that temperature to 175 in seconds. And then you add your fragrance oil and it drops it again to like 165 if you're lucky. So not having that heat keeps your fragrance oils and those molecules from binding with the wax. You want it to bind so you can get a good hot throw. And I wasn't getting a good hot throw. I do now because I make sure my wax is hot enough when it comes time to add my fragrance oil, and I stir for 1 to 2 minutes. So I got this hot again. I'm going to move my wax melts. I'm going to show you my disaster. Look at that. That's what happens when you drop a sample or a little 1 ounce jar on a wax melt. Dang it. All right, I'm going to get these out of my way. I think I may have to invest in a tripod. This thing is the worst thing in the world. Okay, so my 7 ounces of wax to 1 ounce of fragrance oil will fill 3 clamshells for me to test. So I'll keep one, I'll give one to my daughter-in-law, I'll give one to a friend at work, and we're just going to test them. So let's see, the first one I want to make, maybe sandalwood and rose. That smells really pretty, and it's the one that's all gunked up. So let's take the lid off. Let's see. It's just a really, really soft, it's really quite lovely. All right, we're right at it. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. Oh, what a mess. And I will stir this for, like I said, 1 to 2 minutes. I normally stir with my little bar spoon here, but that clanking gets on my nerves. I'm sure it'll get on your nerves. So when I'm in a craft show, I usually have a sign, and I have this wooden ladder that I have attached pegboard to. It works so nice to display my wax melts. All right, there we go, guys. Oh man, that smells really nice. All right, because these are white, I'm going to take the fragrance oil and just kind of set it right next to this row. And then I keep that fragrance oil bottle right next to those wax melts until I have them labeled. All I do is wipe this out with a paper towel and fill it up with my next 7 ounces. And then, yeah, then I'm going to get going on my next batch. And I need to go document in my Soapmaker 3 that I just did this. So I'm going to go do that. I have my computer over here to the side of me. All right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of my testers made. I have my 2 over here that I'm still waiting. I saved the best for last. But I thought I would kind of show you how I do this. This 7 ounces of wax really doesn't take long to melt. It's right there actually. A little hot, so I'm going to give it a few seconds off the heat. And then I thought I would show you my process for moving these. So I just poured these maybe 5-8 minutes ago, and they're still quite fluid, but around the edge, I don't know if you can see, they're starting to firm up. I'm able to just slide those forward. So I'm going to take my bottle and put it to the edge of my table, and I can slide. At this point, I just slide them out of my way. They're not spilling. They're firm enough not to spill, firm enough for me to slide, and then I can get my next 3 melts ready. And in front of me, I'll show you a picture in a second, but in front of me, I have all of these testers cooling on the table. I love having this deep table that I can kind of utilize all of that space. So I am going to do beech wood first. I just I've never had, I don't want to use it. I want to use it, but I don't want to use it. I wish I would have bought an 8-ounce bottle. Isn't that horrible? Oh, and I did buy an 8-ounce bottle off of Brambleberry this today, actually, of a fragrance oil. I've never smelled it. I don't know if I'm going to like it. It has really good reviews. I can't even remember the name of it. But I thought, I want to test it in soap. I want to test it in my cream. I may want to test it in a wax melt. And yeah, I bought an 8-ounce bottle. So I've already broken my promise to myself not to do that. I'm going to go add 1 ounce of fragrance oil real quick. All right. Let's try that in. Make sure it didn't get too cold on me. Still right at 177, so I'm going to be okay with that. Try not to get bubbles in here. But I am because I'm stirring pretty quick. I'm not a fan of the chopstick to stir with. But like I said, I'm sure it's very annoying hearing my little clanking with my other spoon. I ordered today as well another hot plate. So it's a double. So I'm going to have 3 different hot plates. And I can have all 3 going at the same time. I don't have enough pictures. I'm gonna order more of these. I think I'm gonna get them off Candle Science. They have some decent priced ones. So I'm super excited about that. Of course, I won't need to use it for wax melts for another 4 or 5 months because I think I'm going to be good until fall. But yeah, I did order that. I ordered some more plugins. I've just placed a pretty good order. I also ordered a web camera for the laptop. It's supposed to have a decent microphone in it. Since my lapel microphone stopped working, it's like really low volume. I can't get the volume up high enough. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I do my labels and how I create those on Canva and then convert those over to Maestro, let me know and I can do that. All right, let me show you the front of my table real quick. All right, so there's the front of my table. You can kind of see I have the bottles next to the clamshells here of what scent is what, so I don't get those confused. And then if I can, no, this thing won't let me turn very well, but there's my other scent, and I have a space here for those when those get hard enough to just kind of, like I said, I just kind of push them aside. They'll slide right off, or they'll slide right to the front easily. And I'm going to need to make room because I have one more tester to do. These are not testers. These are big batches I'm making. So now I can slide this over. And I have room for my last 2 testers here. Yeah, it's going to work out pretty good. Okay guys, it's been a couple of days since I've made all of my test scents. I have coconut lime verbena, mahogany antique wood, sandalwood rose, gin and tonic, and then rain and angelica and beechwood. These 2 are so good. These are the ones I was hoarding, right? And I really like the cold throw on both of these. I haven't even smelled the other ones. I can't, I keep smelling these. I really like it. I'm going to test these in a couple of days. The manufacturer on this wax says to wait up to like 48 hours. I'm going to give it 3 or 4 days, and I'll be testing over the next couple of weeks. And how I test And I'm not sure if this is a good way of testing or even not. I can't really get information from anyone on how they test. And what I mean is, I have a very large living room. So it's like 14 feet wide. Into my kitchen, it's open. It's about 40 feet long. And so how do I test that? Or do I test in a bedroom that's like a 12 by 12 or 13 by 13? Or do I test in my bathroom, which is just like a 5 by 9? How do you test and know whether a scent is strong or not? You can probably hear my dog barking. My husband's probably home. So I will test in, I put 3 in the living room on the far end. I put 1 in my kitchen in the little wall plug-in, and then I put 1 in my bathroom. And then that's how I test whether it's a good strength or not, or a good fragrance load. I don't know how else to do it. I will sometimes also put it in my bedroom to see the scent, what the scent is in that kind of space. But it's really difficult to know. For me, do I do 2 in that big of a space? Seems like that wouldn't be enough. So anybody has any kind of suggestions or how they do it? I just need to make it standard. And so standard for me now is 3 and 1. So 4 total in my long room and 1 in my bathroom. That's kind of how I've been testing it. So anyway, I'm going to go work on that and come back in a couple weeks. I'll tell you my final thoughts on all of these wax scent testers. Hey everyone, I'm interrupting this video for a quick little chat. So last weekend I made 6 different testers to see about whether I want to incorporate those fragrances into my line. And I have since, in that 1 week, I have since rethought the way I do my wax melts a little bit. And really, I have to contribute that to watching Jeff Standley. I think that's his name. It's Standley Handcrafted. And he's a candle maker. And I will link his channel down below because I learned a lot from him, even though he does more candles and fewer wax melts, and I don't do candles. I wish I could, but that's another topic. But I got to thinking that I have used 13% fragrance oil in my wax melts. So my manufacturer says 8 to 10, but in wax melts you can kind of bump that up. You can get away with adding more fragrance oil than the recommended, because for candles you have to be a lot more careful. So wax melts you can get away with that, right? But do I want to? Do I really want to get away with that? And so here's where I'm thinking. I did a comparison on 2 different scents that I made. And so 8 to 10 is the recommended. So I went with 9. And at 9%, I am saving anywhere from 10 to 20 cents per clamshell. 10 to 20 cents. And as opposed to where I'm at 13% fragrance oil, right? So why would I want to have a fragrance oil in my line that would require that much more fragrance to have a good hot throw? Why would I even want that? My Black Sea, I'm doing 11%, and I could probably easily go down to 10 without even noticing the difference. It's a good, strong fragrance oil that I don't need to go up to 13%, right? So I make that at 11, and I'm thinking, well, why? This is silly. This is silly to put that much fragrance oil in my wax melts if I shouldn't have to, right? And you may have heard me say I am trying really hard to start making better decisions, better financial decisions in this business. And using a fragrance oil that requires that much load is not going to be in my line. It's not going to be in my line. So I am rethinking that whole testing process, and even the wax melts I made last week. I am not going to do that anymore. So I'm going to retest those fragrances at a lower percentage to see if they're going to stay in my line. So I just wanted to share that with you. Another thing that I am doing differently in my testers is I'm coloring them. And I know adding color to a candle can affect the wick and all of that in a candle, but I don't know, and if you do, let me know, but I don't know if adding color to a wax melt affects the hot throw. I really don't know that. So real world, I like my colors, and I'm going to keep coloring my wax melts. So these are my testers. I have two that look very similar. One's ivory, one's brown. Go figure. But I am just pretty simply coloring them and testing these with some color just to have that more real world test, because just in case that does affect the scent throw, I really want to know that before I sell it, right? So anyway, I've got my fall fragrances testing. I've got my spring fragrances I'm testing. I'm just testing a ton of them. I'm spending so much time burning. I'm actually kind of loving it. But I just wanted to interrupt this broadcast. Okay. I just wanted to come on here and just give you an update on where I'm at in my journey and in my like learning process. You know, I'm learning still all the time, and in my attempt to make better decisions for my business. So I just wanted to share that with you. Okay guys, I have been editing that video, and yeah, I'm already at 22 minutes. I try so hard to keep these videos under 20 minutes, and I fail every single time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and split off the portion of the video where I'm talking about the fragrances and my final thoughts on those. Even just that is an extra 10 minutes of me gabbing. So that hopefully that video will be really short for you. And I am going to go ahead and bring that to you in a couple days, just to split off these videos so you're not watching a 30-minute video, because no one wants to watch me for 30 minutes. Nobody wants to do that. So thanks so much for watching me in this journey of mine and the growing of this business, and I appreciate your time and sharing. I appreciate just being able to share, you know, with you my journey and learning and rethinking everything that I'm doing. And I love hearing some of your feedback and all of that good stuff. So thanks so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.